The Ottawa Police Service is blocking our access to information requests until the Public Order Emergency Commission wraps up. I guess they wouldn't want us comparing our documents with their commission-submitted evidence in real time.
Chief, can you kindly explain how it was that my colleague to my right here, Alexa Lavoie, was shot point blank with a tear gas canister, doing some very painful damage to her? What was the reason for that, given that she was simply practicing journalism in the public square?
So I'm unfamiliar with the incident you're speaking of. What I can tell you is that there is complaint mechanisms, there is review mechanisms that will be engaged following this for any use of force incident that occurred. I'll also say that it's been my observations and experience through the amazing extensive journalism coverage that's occurred through this, that the vast majority of our members have been extremely professional. They have executed an extremely methodical plan that has been focused on the safety of the residents, the safety of our officers, and the safety of the people engaged in the protest.
The Ottawa Police Service has made some unbelievable claims, not only during the Convoy for Freedom protests earlier this year, but subsequently in the ongoing Public Order Emergency Commission, including that claim that you just saw from former interim police chief Steve Bell that he had absolutely no clue about the assault of a Rebel News reporter, Alexa Lavoie, at the hands of police operating within his city. Let me go back a second, though, and put this all into context for you. In late January and through to the middle of February, thousands of Canadians, led by truckers, converged on the city of Ottawa to protest for an end to remaining COVID restrictions and cross-border vaccine mandates. They did it peacefully, jubilantly, and sometimes annoyingly, depending on who you ask, until our fragile buffoon of a Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, invoked a wartime law, the Emergencies Act, to kill the protest, arrest the leadership, incarcerate them arbitrarily, and, of course, seize the assets of Canadians involved. Trudeau invoked a domestic terrorism law that's never been used before on peaceful demonstrators in their nation's capital. It's Hugo Chavez level stuff. And the Public Order Emergency Commission happening now is the official examination of the Canadian government's actions in invoking the Emergencies Act. It's a test to see if it was even necessary, which, of course, it definitely was not. Now, to see and support all of our Rebel News coverage, you can visit truckercommission.com. The head-cracking, journalist-beating Ottawa Police Service, who saw a swap in leadership halfway through the convoy protests from former Police Chief Peter Slowly to interim Police Chief Steve Bell, well, it's accused of all manner of impropriety beyond beating independent journalists and shooting them at close range with riot control guns. The Ottawa Police Service is also credibly accused of snatch and grabs, unlawfully arresting peaceful protesters, illegally detaining them, and then dumping them on the outskirts of town in sub-20 temperatures with no phones, no shelter, and sometimes not even coats. Take a look at this.
After I was behind the police line, it's all in my statement, that's there, but I was thrown to the ground, and there was a lot of weaponry around, and I looked up, and there was a gun pointed, it appeared to be at my head. And from there, I was taken outside the city and dropped off, and again, I was at a towing place where they were towing the trucks, and there was no shelter, there was no place to plug in your phone, there was nothing, and thankfully, people came and got us.
And while the police were doing their best to put on a public relations charm offensive on social media, the public was having absolutely none of it. In fact, documents presented to the Public Order Emergency Commission indicate that the public responses to the police's social media postings were overwhelmingly negative. In fact, documents presented to the Public Order Emergencies Commission indicate that the public response to the Ottawa Police Service's social media postings, well, overwhelmingly negative. Now, I've asked for other documents from the Ottawa Police Service. I asked them to provide copies of all documents regarding the proposal, development, posting of, and responding to tweets about the trucker protests and convoy in Ottawa since January 1st, 2022. And I asked for something else. I asked them to provide all documents regarding the WhatsApp chat group called Social Musical Ride 2022 and the posts made there by police officers regarding the trucker convoy protests in Ottawa since February 1st, 2022. Now, that chat group is where the RCMP joked about trampling peaceful protesters, and they said it was a maneuver that they should integrate into their performances. Now, the first response we got back was that OPS didn't keep police text messages as official records. Strange. You would think just as a matter of good police work, the OPS would keep any and all records, but they didn't. So we appealed for the same records minus text messages. And the police, once again, are blocking us this time for another reason. They say they can't give them to us because they are giving those documents to someone else, as though they only have one copy of digitally stored documents. Unreal, but this is obviously the state of the Ottawa Police Service. Look at this. The police confirmed that they are seeking to place this appeal on hold until February 20th, 2023, the date the report of the federal inquiry is to be presented in Parliament. Currently, all efforts are focused on providing the necessary records to the Commission, as per Section 7 of the Inquiries Act. Fulfilling individual requests prior to February 20th, 2023 would be a doubling of efforts that could delay and or taint the record submission to the federal inquiry. The police also noted that there is the possibility that they revisit and revise their decision following the results of the inquiry. They won't give us the notes because they are giving them to the Public Order Emergency Commission at the exact same time. That makes zero sense. They may not even be asking, they meaning the Public Order Inquiry Commission, for the same documents and records that I'm asking for. The records I'm asking for may not be part of the evidence relating to the parties involved testifying. Are we going to see the RCMP musical ride goons on the witness list? I doubt it. Would the OPS testify about it? Probably not. But even if they did, should I not be able to fact check them in real time anyway? Should I not be able to compare what I got through access to information to what the police are now providing to the Commission for accountability's sake? You know what? That's probably why they won't give me the documents until the final decision about the government's actions is finally made. They do not want all the facts out there at the exact same time, just the narrow facts within the very narrow guardrails of the official Commission inquiry. Those are the only acceptable facts. We're appealing, but we need your help. If you can help fund our research and appeals costs to get access to these police records, please make a donation at rebelinvestigates.com. As the good book says, nothing is covered up that will not be revealed or hidden, that will not be known. And therefore, whatever you have said in the dark shall be heard in the light, and what you have whispered in private rooms shall be proclaimed from the rooftops. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. To support our ongoing accountability efforts through access to information filings into the Ottawa Police Service relating to their actions and communications during the time the Convoy for Freedom was in the capital city, please consider making a donation at rebelinvestigates.com.